everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner, and today I've got some ideas for preps that you can get from the thrift store. Request for items to look for at the thrift store as far as prepping, and over the years I have picked up tons and tons of supplies at thrift stores because I love thrift stores and the budget is right where I'm at. And prepping, a lot of people buying all brand new supplies and things like that for emergency situations isn't always feasible. Some items are quite expensive, so getting them at a thrift store can really save you a ton of money. So we try to keep all aspects of prepping in mind when we go to the thrift store. And today I've got a few items that we picked up at the thrift stores for over the years for prepping and being prepared for grid down, bug out, different kinds of situations, all different kinds. So I thought I would just share some of these ideas with you, and hopefully it will help some of you, because sometimes just seeing or hearing stuff that other people have found, you're like, oh, I never thought to look for that. So, and I have heard stuff before and I'm like, oh, what a great idea. I didn't think to look for that. So hopefully this will help somebody. I have gotten a ton of manual kitchen appliances, things that you don't need electricity for. So when the grid is down, I can still cook anything that I normally cook. It doesn't matter if I have electricity or not. I'm going to cook it in a different way, or I might be cooking on the wood stove or the campfire or a little sterno can or whatever I can find. But I try to keep open what I can cook in as many different ways as I can. One of my favorite finds at a thrift store was just an enamel water kettle. These are great. You can throw it right on the wood stove. I use it on the campfire. You can put it on a barbecue. You can put this anywhere, and comes with a little cover. You just want to make sure it's not rusted. And this isn't a real high expensive item, but every penny counts when you're trying to save, definitely. And another thing, these are quite a bit more expensive, but I found this 8-quart Dutch oven for $8 at a thrift store. This is such a good find. You can throw this right in the coals on the fire, in a fireplace. You can put it on, if we have a smoker, so the fire is in one area and then where the food cooks is over there. You can sit it right on top of the firebox, which is nice. You can make nice big stews in here, and these are great. And even if these are a little rusty, that's okay. I still grab them. You can take the rust off and make it new, no problem. It's not hard at all. And so cast iron is definitely something I look for. And always at thrift stores, I always look for cast iron because it can be quite pricey, especially when you're looking for a Dutch oven or something like that, or big pots. As much cast iron as you can have. We have a big collection of cast iron because I love to cook on it, and I love to know that I can slap it on the wood stove, I can throw it in the campfire, I can put it on the barbecue grill. Those things are nice. And these little sifters, they're only a couple bucks, but I picked this up for $1 at the thrift store, so it saves a couple dollars. And then like a juicer, an old manual juicer, I picked this up at a thrift store. It works beautifully. It really takes a lot of the work out of it, so you don't have to use an electric juicer, which is nice. Another thing is lighting. They have quite a few lighting options there. I have seen like solar lights. I've seen some pretty heavy duty flashlights there. Lots of candles. I always see brand new candles there. This one is brand new. Oh, brand new candle. And they're not hugely expensive at the store, but if you can get them for cheaper, 25 cents, 50 cents, why not? And they have brand new items, which is awesome. So that is, I think that's the kitchen. the lighting. So candles are great. And also another thing that is a great find that I have seen a lot of are those little fondue pots where you put the little sterno underneath to heat stuff up. Those work really good, and you can use them inside the house, which is nice. And I've seen quite a lot of those because people like the electric ones now. They don't like the one you put the candle or whatever underneath. And the next thing I have found tons of at the thrift store, and these all came from thrift stores, are like, I've got a Preserving the Summer's Bounty. This has canning, freezing, drying, all kinds of stuff. Cookbooks are another thing you can get there. Great. A lot of times now we look online for recipes. If the grid is down and you cannot get online, where are all your recipes? I definitely recommend writing them down in a notebook, a journal, on recipe cards. Also cookbooks. Cookbooks are wonderful. I've seen millions and millions of cookbooks there. Like this one is the vinegar book. It's another book I picked up, and it shows you how to make all kinds of vinegar stuff, how it works, why it works, what to put together, all kinds of stuff like that. And this is an old book, but that's okay. The information still works. This is third edition, 1994. So this one was printed. But this has tons and tons of information in it. So you can make hair rinses, you can make all kinds of stuff. Vinaigrettes for your salad, tons of different things with vinegars, how to flavor it, and just, it was like 10 cents. So it's definitely handy if I want to make that stuff. I've got it. How-to books. Medical books are great to pick up. I picked up a nursing book from like 1910 for 10 cents one day. It's amazing. And also your how-tos, all that stuff, herbal books, foraging books, things like that, and teaching books. If you have kids, you want to be able to, if the school shut down tomorrow, and the grid is down and they're not having any online learning, or your kid cannot get to school for whatever, in a complete collapse, your kid still needs to learn. So having educational books with, maybe a math book or, different things, reading, history, things like that, just some different kinds of educational books just to help you get through that process. I'm not saying go out and buy curriculum for K through 12th grade or anything like that, but just some books to help you, give you ideas, things like that. I mean, you know how to read, you can help your child learn how to read. So, and like math, things, these books are definitely things that you might not be thinking of off the top of your head. They're going to help you that, oh yeah, I got to teach them fractions, or they need to know how to divide so they can figure out the sale flyer at the store. So things like that, but your kid still needs to learn if they're not able to go to school. So having some educational books, I think, are definitely a must if you have children. Another thing is blankets. I've seen quite a few wool blankets there, nice like vintage quilts, things like that. We have purchased sleeping bags. We all have go bags and things like that, and this is one of the sleeping bags, and I like the ones with the compression sacks so you can get it as small as possible. Those are nice, and you can get just the compression sacks there as well, which are also great to put your clothing in, because you're going to want to take an outfit or two in your bug out bag, dry socks, things like that. And the compression sacks, really, you can reef on these and really shrink it right down so it takes up less space in your bag. Because when you are in a bug out situation, you want to be able to maximize your space and make sure that you have, enough. And as far as purchasing sleeping bags are great for inside the home if the grid is down, because they are warm and toasty. But also sleeping bags, if you're buying for a bug out bag, Make sure you check the temperature ratings for, some sleeping bags are only good to 30 degrees. That's no good if you live in an area where it's minus 25. You want to try and make sure that the sleeping bag is something that will actually work for you. And let's see, this is another one of my favorite finds. This is a dry sack. A lot of people, when you go boating and things like that, a lot of people use them to put whatever they want to keep dry. You could put documents in here, you could put food in here, you could put your clean undies and socks in here, so you have dry, clean clothing. And these are great. This one has a little strap, you can put it on your back, but all you do is fill it up with your stuff and just roll these down. I love these. We have a whole bunch of them. And then once you roll it down, you can just fold it in and clip it together. Where's that little clip? It's hiding. I rolled it up in the handle. So then you've got all your stuff. I mean, and you cannot get this air out. It's sealed in there. So these dry bags are great. They're not hugely expensive anyway, but a great find at the thrift store because, like $1, I think I paid. $1 is $1. I like that. And another thing, also like equipment for cooking outside. You might be able to find grates to go over the fire to like cook your food on, things like that. I have seen gas grills, barbecue, little hibachi things that you can cook on, things like that, making sure you have those cooking things. Winter clothing, something warm and dry. I've seen some really nice, jackets in there for really cheap. Most people have a winter jacket already, but if you live in an area that you don't normally need one, I'd have one anyway, because you never know. You just never know. And things like that, anything in any scenario that you think, I really think the thrift store is a great area because, there's so many different things and people donate just so many random things. I also picked up, I've gotten quite a few little backpacks, and these have like the internal support in them. So this is a super nice little bag, and it's got an emergency whistle on it. You can find so many different things. It's not anything specific. You want something, if you're building a bug out bag, I would get something as durable as possible. If you can find an old rucksack, those are great, or whatever you want. You can use new ones, used ones, vintage. You want something strong and durable that is going to work for you, and try it on in the store. Make sure it's going to fit you or whoever you're going to be with. This is a smaller one for one of our kids, but we get bigger ones for us, like 40 liter, 50 liter, something like that. It just depends on the size of the person and what they're going to be able to handle to carry. So backpacks can get quite pricey. I have seen backpacks for $300, $400, $500, $600 in the store. Not, you can spend a lot on them. But I mean, for $5 you can pick up a nice durable backpack if you just keep looking at the thrift store. And the last thing that we always try to look for is different types of medical equipment in case of an emergency. These were a super find for like $2, $2 or $3, I think, at the thrift store. And they are the adjustable ones, so you can move the handle down. If you've got someone really tall, you can put these way up or way down. These are great. We have used them for a 12-year-old, and we've also used them for a 50-year-old. So they will work. They're nice and adjustable. I really like that. So I think crutches are a good thing to have on hand, a cane. If you get injured and you can't get to the hospital, which looks like it's going to be a pretty big problem in the near future, then I think it's important to have things like that at home. Like my parents have like a potty chair, a shower chair, a few different items, and you know, you can share with your family as well. I think that's a great way to go. So each home doesn't have to have 5,000 different things in it. You know, I don't need a potty chair in my house because I know I can just shoot right over and pick one up. You know, I can walk there if I have to. And those are the things that we normally look for at the thrift store, you know, just all around different things that are, you know, a little high on your budget that you're like, oh, how am I going to save for this? It's really expensive. Look at the thrift store. They have lots and lots. The kitchen stuff is usually really, really plentiful around here. So you can find cast iron, you can find teapots, you can find, you know, manual kitchen appliances and things like that. I've got an old mixer up here. It was my grandma's, but I've seen those at the thrift store and stuff like that. So there are tons of things that you can get, and just make a list of those things that you need. And when you're out at the thrift store, try and revert back to that list. What was it that I needed, you know, or something I think would be good, and things like that. There's so much money to be saved at the thrift store opposed to going out and buying it brand new. And a lot of times you can find stuff that's almost brand new and still very, very usable. And that is it for today. If you have had some really great finds at the thrift store, please leave them in the comments down below. Help people out. I'm sure there are things that I don't look for at the thrift store that other people do. And, you know, it helps everybody when we share those in the comments. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!